Hello, I'm Jordan Grubik, and I've been thinking about a lot of things. The thing I think about mostly is, what is the most accurate way to peel a banana? Because you peel an orange, you peel a banana, and they're very different. You peel an orange, you're more likely to get something squirt in your eye. You peel a banana, and it's most likely to just kind of not squirt in your eye, because bananas don't have the citrus effect. And if banana did squirt in my eye, I can imagine it wouldn't hurt nearly as much as the vitamin C effect, because the vitamin C goes in there, it spreads around the cornea, and it's really painful. I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it, we know what it's like, and none of it is as worse as getting lemon or lime in your eye. That is the most painful, but let's not talk about things that are painful. Let's talk about things that are wonderful and beautiful, like flowers, daisies, and princesses' roses. I went flower picking last week, and I picked a rose, and I found a rose that had absolutely no prickles on it, and that's very rare, because all roses have prickles. It's like a metaphor for life. You get something beautiful, there's going to be some of those prickles along the way. Now, I was rosing it. I was like taking this rose, and I was like, awesome, I got a rose, I'm so happy. I was skipping up back and forth and doing all this stuff because I got a rose, and I found a rose with no prickles. I was extra happy, and I was walking along the way, and guess who I saw? I saw Frodo from Lord of the Rings. I said, hey Frodo, this is a rose. Would you like this rose? And Frodo said, no thank you, my dear friend, but you do look like a hobbit. Would you like to come to the Shire? And I went to the Shire with my friend Frodo, and let me tell you something. Oh my gosh, the best food in the Shire. Cakes, pies, treats, sweets, anything, you name it, they got it in the Shire. They eat 6 times a day. Oh my gosh, J.R.R. Tolkien, you glutton, you. I love it though, because I'm great. I love eating. So I took my rose, I was prancing around with Frodo in the Shire. I was all happy like that, and I was eating food with my rose that had no prickles on it, and then guess what happened? A prickle grew on my rose, and I was like, oh my gosh, is this symbolic of something? Is this a journey? Is this something that's happening? I don't really understand what's going on. There are like metaphysical things happening that are way beyond me right now, and so I'm living life here in the Shire. I met Bilbo and Samwise Gamgee and everything, even though technically that's not possible because at the end of the third Lord of the Rings, they kind of all died. They went away on that ship and everything. Spoiler alert, I apologize. So anyways, I was just doing this. The prick grew on the rose, and I have a rose, a beautiful rose that originally had no pricks at all, and now it's got a prick. And so now I'm doing things. I'm like hanging out with Frodo. We're playing some pinball because they got that in the Shire. Everybody loves pinball. And then we were just doing stuff. Like we took a swim and everything in the lake and everything. And then we went and like we went to go and see the place where Saruman was destroyed and everything like that, the big guy with the beard and everything, and then I finally met Gandalf, and that was phenomenal, and I said, hey Gandalf, can I ask you a question? I have this rose, and it grew a prick. It grew one little prickle. And I'm wondering why, because originally it was like prickle-free. It was a prickleless rose. It was like a phenomenal, beautiful rose, and I smelled it, and it was beautiful. Now it's got a prickle. Not only that, but the scent is less beautiful than it was before. And then he looks at me and he says, I don't know. I have to research it. I have to research it. Run, you fools, research it. You shall not pass. And I'm like, whoa, all right, it's the wrong part of you've been through that. That's not right now, okay? So he went, we researched it together, we looked and we found out that when a rose starts growing a prickle and the scent starts to decay just a little bit, that's symbolic that the person who's holding it is losing a sense of purity, a sense of holiness, a sense of oneness, a sense of love. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this means I have to improve myself. These are character traits. These are the things about me that I need to improve. So ever since then, I've been working on myself. The rose grew a second prickle. And so now I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been working on myself here. And my rose grew a second prickle, and it's smelling even less beautiful. Now I've got some real issues, and that's the problem. So I was thinking, I went back to Gandalf. I said, Gandalf, I got a problem here. I've been working on myself all this time. I've been trying to be like, the better version of me, the me I've always hoped to be, the me that I've always aspired to be, the me that I was always like, well, I'm never going to be that way, but, ideally in a great, perfect world, I would be that way. I've been trying to be that me, and what happens? It grows a second prickle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is, something's wrong here, okay? So we went to Rivendell, and we met all the elves, and thankfully Legolas was there. I don't think Legolas comes from Rivendell, though. He comes from the other elf place, doesn't he? Anyways, we went to, Legolas was there, and I said, Legolas, do you have any advice for me? I mean, Legolas, you're really pretty. Do you know why this rose has grown a second prickle? I've been trying to work on myself. You seem like you control yourself very nicely. Your diet, your manners, and everything. Do not think I will kill you, dwarf. That sort of thing, right? You embody what it is to discipline one's body, mind, and soul. So I said, Legolas, what's the problem here? I'm trying to perfect my character, and the rose grew a second prickle. Do you know what it is? And Legolas, he holds up the rose, and he says, I have no idea. And he hands me the rose. I'm like, all right, okay, great, all right, okay, so cool. So I go and I leave, and I finally, I meet Galadriel. Galadriel is like that Katharine Hepburn, well, she played Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator with Leonardo DiCaprio. That actress, Cate Blanchett, right? Cate Blanchett. Whenever she's all like, the rose has grown prickles because you have tried to force yourself to be a better person. It's not coming naturally. If you try and force it, it will not come. So I said, oh, I got it now. I've been trying to force myself to be a better person. I've been going against my character, and now I've caused this other prickle to surface on the rose. And she said, what's worse is, now that you possess the great rose, if it grows a third prickle, you will be banished to the outworld. What? I found this rose in a garden somewhere. No prickles. Beautiful rose. My character is imperfect, 1 prickle. Right? I try and perfect my character, 2 prickles. Now if I do it wrong, and I'm told to be natural, but if I do it wrong, it's going to grow a 3rd prickle, and I'm going to be banished to the outworld. So what is that, like Mordor or something? I was really distraught, as you can imagine. So I did what any logical person would do. I took the rose and I lit it on fire. Haven't had any problems since. Life has been great.